Your approach to fitness is extremely psychological.
Yes,
But what do you think is more important, the mind or the body?
the mind is the lie. It'll lie to you. It'll tell you you're tired when you're not. It'll tell you to quit. You can't. It'll tell you what is he do. It'll make it, man. It'll tell you you're hungry when you ain't. It'll tell you you don't want any protein. Give me the carbs and the sweets. That mind, this thing. It'll tell you, oh, something wrong with your wife, but something right about her across the street. Yeah, I mean, it does things. Your car ain't good enough. It's the orange one. It look just like your car, but it's just something about it. Yeah, it's not yours. Like, but it does control the body.
So the truth is in the body?
So the truth is in the body. And the reason I believe that is because I've seen boxers knocked out, but they have conditioned their legs so good that they don't go down. The legs are still moving. They're knocked out. The brain is shut off. But the legs are like, I don't know what you're doing. I'm not going down. And then they get hit again and woke up. Bang! And now they like the body's still right there with them. So like I just think if you get the stronger the body, the stronger the mind.
Hello.
What
You made it.
I did make it. So did you. You made it too.
Mykel, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I know you have a lot going on right now. Um, you and I know each other very well.
Yes.
In fact, you kicked my ass yesterday. But for those who don't know you as well, you were born in Mississippi. Correct me if I'm wrong. Raised in Texas, where you grew up playing sports in a pretty serious way, laying the foundation that you would use for a lot of your work as an actor.
Yes.
And one of my favorite things about you is that you're actually living in two worlds at once. So, on the one hand, you train elite athletes, many of them Olympians, and you're helping push people to the limits of what their bodies can do. And then on the other hand, you've built an incredible career as an actor, writer, director, producer with more than 75 credits in film and television. And on top of that, seven original feature films of your own, which is not something you hear often. In fact, you even shared a cut of your latest film, Hero, which, as you know, stayed with me after I saw it. And it's a haunting, deeply human story about a traumatized hitman. So, Mykel Shannon Jenkins, thank you for being here.
My pleasure. Definitely. I yeah, you made after you say all that, I'm feeling like, well, I might be able to go home now. If you and my mom. I guess some work has been done. It feels like I haven't even touched the ingredients of cookie mix yet to even lay down the cookies. But like when I hear it out loud and I take a look at it, not bad for a small town boy from Mississippi. Not bad at all.
Not
My
bad
dad,
at all.
my dad is hot.
Um, so, you and I know each other through our mutual friend, Kate, who was my previous trainer and is someone that you trained. And she spoke about you and continues to talk about you like a legend. And when she stepped back, I asked if I could see you, which is not an easy thing because you are very selective about who gets into the pit. And once I got in, I realized this is not normal training. So, how would you describe that?
I have this business card that I only made once. It's only 100 in the world. I don't even have any anymore, but I'm sure somebody does. And it was called evolution. Because way back when I got this idea that like when you fix a car, You have to fix it completely. You can have the engine, but if the wheels and like people like they treat physical training like it's a thing, and then there's mental, and then there's spiritual, and then there's like so you can have somebody physically capable to do anything, but mentally broken, and the car's not moving. And I said to myself, like, I want to be part of movements, and not just a physical movement, like movements. And I think that it starts with people. People start these movements. Martin Luther King, like, so I learned early, just with me, if you could touch me mentally, like if you could make me believe that you understood a little bit of what I'm going through,
Yeah.
and you were willing to accept that there's something greater than you moving things around, then can't, it's left out the equation fast because you don't know what you can or can do. You've already submitted to something greater than you, which should determine now what's possible everywhere. Like, and so like I decided if I'm going to be part of this, take my life's energy and put it into this. I wasn't just going to be a guy who could kind of figure out the anatomy and how certain things function, the kinesiology and how muscles like work. Because I know a lot of beautiful people that do very bad things. I want to be part of like beautiful people who do beautiful things.
Yeah. I can't even go through all your credentials because there are so many. I mean, you went to Loyola, you earned your degree, but then that wasn't even the beginning of your, what you became as an expert in health and fitness. But on top of all of that, you have some other special sauce that is very difficult to describe unless you get to experience it. And you knew things about me just from the way I first walked up to you. You were able to suss me out. And you not only identified my old injuries, but you're tackling them in a way that is totally unexpected. And you're famous for this, for taking injured people who have been turned away by modern medicine and getting them back on their feet. So where where did you learn exactly to do this? Because you're able to do something that no one else I've met, none of the other coaches in any of the other sports, none of the PTs, none of the doctors. How do you know all this?
My mom introduced me to the power of love and love like selfless love. And it's amazing when you take yourself out of the equation how you can see things. Like when I wrote the grant to Loyola and had them send me around and really help me polish up the informational input, I knew that physically um, that was going to be the beginning. But I'm an artist. So like when people, I get these movies and pictures like real quick about people like this vision. When I think something good is going to happen. And I basically don't believe anything isn't, I don't believe if any, I've been taught by my mom that like, once you've done all you can do, then God comes. But you have to do all you can do. You have to empty the bag. Then you're okay. But if you begin to limit what you're willing to give because you believe that these things are cut off, then you almost cut yourself off from it. So the first thing I try and do when I meet someone is decide whether or not it's right, because I'm a lot, and I'm going to go in and like, it needs to feel like a synergy between the two of us. It just does. And people are like, well, that's if you walked into a room and saw a beautiful girl, it just or a guy who just took your breath away for a second. That's synergy. Like something magical can happen. You like you've been in a room with someone that immediately turns you off, and you was like, not like nothing. I don't care how smart. What that can't nothing happen because you don't really want nothing to happen. So like I am a big interviewer. Probably the reason that I've been as successful as I have been with the beautiful people that God has brought into my life. Kate being one of them.
Yeah.
Child Kate Kostoviak. Um, is if I don't feel it, we can't do it. And I don't really care how much money you have on the table because money don't buy time. And why are we wasting? So I'm one of the few, I think, who actually, I don't believe that you can really help someone doesn't like you, who doesn't connect with you, because they'll take the information. Doesn't mean they're going to apply it. The intention won't be right. Like we won't service the situation honestly. So if you don't service it honestly, how are you honestly gonna get at the problem? See, because I don't actually believe that everything that people say is the problem either.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So like I hear you and I see the MRI and I hear you. But what's in that? But well, why do I keep getting this feeling that we need to go over into the closet? I know. It's the bed. It's the bed that's broke. I got it. Let's go into the closet. And what's funny about it is like I really don't even know half the time where I'm going. I just put myself in a position to know as much as I possibly can. I have a pre-game plan, and then I let you come in and take the space. I don't try to put me in your space. I let you take the space. And then people who really want to be helped show you.
Yeah.
And I'm smart enough to let them. And as we begin to take that, the real steps to getting better, uh, the more information you have, the more you can help. And people make me learn. Like people put me on these journeys, and then it's funny. Like I might be treating an Achilles with one of my elite athletes,
Hmm.
and like 7 years later, get 75-year-old senior who's like shredded her whole ankle support because of all the information that I was forced to use and learn so that this athlete could get back to. I'm well equipped to the more information you have, the freedom you have to use it. And that's, and if you got good energy and God's in the mix, because I'm a big, it's all good. It's all gravy, as we say, bro. It's all gravy, baby.
Yeah, you have this incredible intuition that you're using, obviously, in fitness, but you're also using as an actor,
Yeah.
which doesn't surprise me. And we've talked before about the difference between, writing and acting, and how in acting, what you have is the moment. So you really have to be there. You have to be so present. And I wonder, when you take all these things about you together and this incredibly rare intuition you have about people. I mean, I had this thing going on with my mid back a couple months ago, and out of nowhere, you asked what my support system was like at home. And I just burst into tears. And we were laughing before that happened, by the way. We were joking around, and suddenly you hit such a nerve, like a sniper shot. And I didn't realize until you put your finger on it like that, just how much stress I was carrying in my body. Have you always been able to read into people like this?
And me and my brother were sleeping in a bed. True story. Me and my brother were sleeping in the same room. My mom kicks in the door. It's like 3 a.m. She's like, call your girlfriends. And I'm like, what? She said, somebody is pregnant. And me and my brother are like, I don't even have a girl, and I didn't. And my brother's like, what are you talking about? She says, pick up the phone. And my mom is, I don't have a girlfriend. And she tells my brother the same. He's like, all right, he calls. This girlfriend picks up.
No.
Yes. And I said to her, how did you know? I mean, she had never even told my brother. Like, he really, honestly, didn't think nobody was pregnant. And that it just came to me in my sleep. It's very clear. When God brings fish to me, somebody close to me is pregnant. And I now, because I've lived with this kind of thing, I know it's not your sister. It's somebody in this house. And she did that all the time. And I asked her, she says it's just something that she has. Like, it just, the spirit talks to her. And because she doesn't try to define it or there's nothing in the way of it, she lost her mother when she was 11. So like you'll find something to keep you alive so she just, she tapped into it. So like my whole life, I've been like curious, very, very curious about it. So like, I get it now because it's the spidey sense. It's your superpower. It's like when God says, don't go in that elevator. A whisper says, hey, be on your, what people do is go, nah, not him, not me. I don't question it. I'm like, yeah, you. Like, I get it now. Like, I don't go in that elevator and prove I'm crazy. I just don't go in it. If he says leave this party, I hear a whisper like this is dangerous. That's not that's not me being whatever. That's a real whisper of somebody trying to protect me from what's coming. And I can't tell you how many times in high school I get a whisper. I be out. I'm telling my boys, I'm like, I'm out of here. I know you got 30 minutes to get what you need to get. And we go. And then they be like, oh man, you just missed the shootout. Like, I can't tell you how many times this happened. So like, I I don't even want to be, I don't know how mediums and all that do that.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to be a vessel for anything. One of my personal friends said something to me this morning. He said, if you're ever doing anything that makes someone's life worse, that's on you. I was like, whoa, I like that. Get what's right and wrong. I'm not getting into those logistics because that's muddy anyway now. If what you're doing is making someone's life worse, it's on you to fix it. So I think people really want to connect. I think people are connected. This is what I look for in my art. It's like, where's the connection? And I think people want to take you where it is. This is what I told my daughter. I said, it's like, I want to hold your hand and let you know whatever that is that scares you, you're not by yourself. And I want to be the kind of bully where you know, if you open up the closet, no matter how big the monster is, I'm right here and I won't let him hurt you. So I just want to take by the hand and them they're not by themselves. Like, I want to walk with you into the dark places. And since I'm outside of it, I can see it cleaner.
Do you think this is a gift, like a special gift that your mother had, whether she was channeling it through her faith, the strength of her faith, or just something that the universe bestowed onto her that you've inherited? Or do you think this is something that we can all tap into
Mm.
and it's just a matter of listening? Is it like, buzzing at the right frequency?
Yeah, listen, I'm a big frequency guy. I think that's exactly. One of my favorite quotes in the Bible is no favor of man. And that simply means God has made no one better than the other. No matter what you tell yourself, no matter how you've convinced yourself certain people have things you don't have. Yeah, you're not 7'5", so you're not Wimby. But you can handle the ball. You can shoot it. So like, I believe Everyone in the world has the ability to tap into something greater than themselves and accomplish things they never dreamed of. And it's proven every single day by these athletes who are doing things like they all have stories of like quitting, being scared out of not knowing where their next meal is going to come from, and then achieving this enormous success because of this thing that they thought at one point was killing them, but turned out to be delivering them. And I just think that it just takes a certain amount of, I think it comes from hardship because when you don't have nothing, you find God faster. You find this spirit a lot quicker. Like people talk about people who don't believe aren't in situations where they need to.
Yeah.
Take that, take that dude or that woman and put him in jail. See how fast they find God. There's a reason that turnover is high. And that's because you don't got the gun no more. You don't got your voice. You in a serious situation, and if without him, you by yourself. Now let's see if you want to believe there's something that's greater than you, because you about to get tested for sure. And so, like, I think that everybody has the ability to tap into something greater than themselves and achieve something greater than they ever believed. Sometimes it takes connecting to another source of energy in order for that energy to charge you. And so you're at the voltage you need to be at to go get it done. But energy is transferred, baby. 100%.
Yeah. A lot of the time in our training, I mean, just as early as yesterday, you were telling me about the importance of not running away from the pain.
Mm.
For me, it was the tightness in my hip and my pelvis, and it was, if we're going to get through this, we've got to run into it head on, because that's the only way that you can get to the other side. And so I wonder, we're talking about hardship. And the greater the hardship, the faster a connection to God.
Yeah.
What was your hardship?
My father, God rest his soul, brilliant, brilliant academic, uh, one of the smartest men literally in the world, like literally when it came to test taking and putting information together. Who's who, top 10, like where? Um, he, he, he went to the military and uh, they introduced him to alcohol. And I think the military was a very tough place to be when you were as bright as he was and doing the things he was doing for the military, and then, getting no credit for it because at that particular time, uh, African American men in the military, no matter, just where you were under a supervisor, he got the credit, he did the work. And I think that was very difficult for my dad. So he found himself overindulging in what happens with spirits. See, the Indians had it right. We call it liquor, but it's really called spirits. Is that those spirits that you're not supposed to tap into and bring onto the earth, those things you keep deep down inside of you, so where they belong, caged up, so you can have discussions with them, began to surface when they didn't need to. And because I looked like my mama, and he couldn't do nothing with that because she just was, um, I got a blunt of it. Yeah. But God gives his toughest test to his strongest men's strongest.
So your pain point is your relationship with your dad.
Yes. And I was like 7 uh, when I was aware, when I was telling my mom she should leave. So it had gotten bad enough by the time I was 7. And my mother was rock. So she went nowhere. So you find God and you find him.
Was it the fact that your father had an was struggling with alcoholism? Was it the fact that you have such a profound connection and love for your mother and you saw her suffering? What was it that was intolerable for you that made you finally kind of reach deep down and access the the whispers in a way that you hadn't before?
Uh, it's a good question. And I have an answer for that. My father was my, this is to all the dads. Please try and understand this. You are your child's first superhero. You're the one they believe is never going to go anywhere. It's always going to be there to protect them. It's, unbreakable. And, and when you teach a kid loss earlier than they need to know it, and you're the one teaching them that, it changes their world. Very quickly, when the man who was supposed to protect my superhero uh, was harming me, I needed something. I needed to something to make me make that right,
Mm-hmm.
and I needed something where I could also believe that, in his, because he just a man who had a problem. And once the problem was out, it was everybody's problem. Uh, he provided for me my whole life. There were lots of really great things he did, but he just was, when he was drunk, different. And this is where I started to remember things like the Lord's Prayer. It starts with our Father and Father and Father. And I was like, oh, okay, I get it. My dad's my dad, but he's my father. So I'm never without a father. I might be without a dad, but I'm never without a father. So I just started to pity him because he was having problems with life
Yeah.
and look for strength from him and, prayed for him and for me. And that gave me the grace to forgive him constantly and, you know, find, I just wanted someone, maybe that's why I'm so hell bent on helping people. I wanted help so badly for so long. I wanted somebody to come in and say, I wanted somebody to come in and hold my hand and be like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, let's go talk to your father and make it go away. But that came through, time and prayer. And these little miracles would happen. They would get me out of the way sometimes. And then, then I started to realize this is not happening to me. This is really happening for me. Why? And then what?
Your brother, is he older or younger?
Older.
Was there ever a time when you were in search of a male role model before you turned to God that you kind of looked to your brother like, are you going to be my image of masculinity? Like, or did you go straight to your faith because it was already so strong?
My brother is my best friend. But I've always been, my brother is a cerebral. He's just, he has my dad's first name for a reason. He's just brilliant. And his thought process, it takes a lot for my brother to get violent. It takes very little for me to reach into rage. You know what I mean? So I ain't like that smoke. I ain't like that stuff he was talking about. Like, no, 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 no. What's happening to me is happening. I don't need no cerebral. I need you to and that's just what that's not how he was made. So I wasn't old enough to understand that that's probably the best way to be cerebral and to think your way through things. And I wanted something. I wanted a physical force. And when that was not working for my vision, I looked for force. And something would happen in quiet times with God, and I could like rebuild myself very quickly. Like I could feel one way and then realize very quickly if I just looked around the other corner of it, hey, my dad provided. I was not hungry. I didn't sleep out in the street. Yeah, it was scary at times because he was out of control. But I mean, I'm clever. Sometimes you gotta find, I don't have to, you can call for me. I don't have to come out. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
sometimes I could just be missing. If the whooping is coming anyway, sometimes I could just be missing. You know what I mean? Like I started to realize how much control I really have over this whole situation and use it. And that came in quiet time with myself and prayer and understanding that the enormity, there was times he would just put my father to sleep. He would mean to do some shit, but he'd be to, God would just put his ass to sleep. I'd be like, yeah, okay. Like for no reason. Like he seemed wide awake.
Yeah.
Go get the belt. I go get the belt, but then he sleep. And I'm like, you know what I mean? Like little things like that. People don't understand. See that I think you can see God anywhere you look for him if you care to look. They're like you can see love anywhere you want if you care to look. What people want to do is look for the problem. Well, you can find that too.
I mean, I know that you train a lot of young men and they gravitate towards you. And a lot of them are athletes who are on the rise. And then a lot of them are I want to say, kind of finding their way through a crisis of masculinity. Would
Mm-hmm.
you say that today we are in a crisis of masculinity, or that's
Woo.
always been something that's been difficult to navigate for men?
I just think the word masculine, unfortunately, was defined before it needed to be. And so now the perception of what masculine is, um, has distorted a lot of people's uh, perspective. So when they don't fit into that definition, uh, it starts to become tricky for them. I I don't like definitions because I don't like when people try to define me. I don't like boxes. I don't even like time because that's a box. I don't like people asking people how old they are, years old is your vision, because that's a box. They just, it's people are constantly trying to define and create boxes so people can get out the box and you go, oh my God, they're out the box. Or they stay in the box and you're like, well, you're just too conservative. Or, you know what I mean? When actually, if we just stop that nonsense and dealt with purpose, like what's your purpose? Everybody has one. What is your purpose? How do we get you locked into your power so you can serve that purpose and let the rest of these people call it whatever they want to call it? Like I'm black and I'm from the South and I've been labeled enough to know that people don't know me. And I've been told enough about other people and met them later in life and known that they don't know them neither. And now I'm starting to realize it's because people don't even really know themselves. So what really happens is you become a perpetuation of somebody else's ideas of what they thought and they told you and you respected that person. So that person now you really haven't even taken the time out to think about it yourself. Like, who are you? What are you here to do? And why aren't you doing it? You're on the clock, bro. Like, you punched the ticket. You ain't playing. Like, it's time to go. So when I meet people, this is the first thing I want to do. I want to see how much restructuring we need to do in their thought process. Because anyone who thinks they're sick or broken or weak and there is no way out,
Your approach to fitness is extremely psychological.
yes,
But what do you think is more important, the mind or the body?
the mind is the lion. It'll lie to you. It'll tell you you're tired when you're not. It'll tell you to quit. You can't. It'll tell you what is he do. It'll make it, man. It'll tell you you're hungry when you ain't. It'll tell you you don't want any protein. Give me the carbs and the sweets. That mind, this thing. It'll tell you, oh, something wrong with your wife, but something right about her across the street. I mean, it does things. Your car ain't good enough. It's the orange one that look just like your car, but it's just something about it. Yeah, it's not yours. Like, but it does control the body.
So the truth is in the body?
So the truth is in the body. And the reason I believe that is because I've seen boxers knocked out, but they have conditioned their legs so good that they don't go down. The legs are still moving. They're knocked out. The brain is shut off. But the legs are like, I don't know what you're doing. I'm not going down. And then they get hit again and woke up. Bang! And now they like, the body's still right there with them. So like, I just think if you get the stronger the body, the stronger the mind. Because you have told this mind when it said, I can't, I can. Stop. No. Shut up. I mean, I talk to myself constantly because my mind be saying some wild, unnecessary stuff that I know is not true. I have this moment where I would just stop and say, shut the F. I say, shut the F up. I'm going to talk to you in a minute. And then I come back to my thing. I'm doing something. And then I go do my thing. But I will not let it talk me off. As Kobe used to say, no negotiations.
Yeah.
Do not negotiate with yourself because you will talk yourself out of it. The mind wants to go to the least resistance. Wherever there's the least resistance, that's what it wants you to do. Now, is that the right thing? Not necessary, not most of the time. But the body, if you put it through enough, it will start to tell the mind, that's not true. Remember the last time and then what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And then refocus you. And then the mind says, oh, I knew you had it, bro. You had it, bro. Sometimes I like to get people into that conversation and talk over the top of it. Just yell right over the top of it, right near your ears. Don't listen to it. Go! And you've been based. There you go.
Yeah.
I can't. Help me. I'm not doing anything. You don't need my help. You're right there. Just keep pushing. Just keep pushing. And when they know you're not going to help,
Yeah, it's extremely rewarding when you do that and you
I
get to the other
die.
side. Yeah. I
Yes.
mean, every
Where all
time,
this shit you want is.
totally. Every time you make me do something that I think I can't do, I really just have to thank you
It's
because
the
I am
most,
thankful.
it's so beautiful. I think you should share that with everybody. This is a beautiful trait that she brings to my space. I've never had anyone do this. Every time we get into something that's really, really challenging for her, and she's giving me every single ounce of whatever she has left, we finish. She looks at me and I'm like, and she says, thank you. That's what I know that when the meal was good. She goes,
And
I'm like,
the meal is
yo,
always good.
I like this. This is some shit that I need to just start sharing with people. Go bless somebody. Just, it's a blessing. Whenever you're in a situation and it's pushed you to the edge and then you step over that thing and you still standing, that's a blessing.
Yeah, I'm starting to really feel the gratitude of
Mm,
overcoming pain, obstacles, the shit that used to really irritate me, even professionally. Now I get through it and it's like, good, I can do that. Now that's in the rear view.
yes.
Now what else can I do?
Yes,
What
this
other
is
amazing shit can I pull off now?
you just described my whole approach to this to this train.
Yeah,
It's like, what else can we do? I just want to be, you know how cool it is when you find out by yourself, but you know how much better it is when you got somebody with you like, told you, let's go. Champagne is sweeter when it's two glasses at the table.
that's right.
You understand what I'm saying? And I don't drink because
I know.
I saw what drinking can do, but it sure look a lot better when you pouring it on someone than when you pouring it in your mouth.
Well, let me ask you something else because you've seen your clients are really a variety of people from, very young to much older, every
Yes.
culture, every faith, and you've seen people through many major transitions. Um, and you also say something I almost never hear guys talk about, which is that menopause affects men
Um,
too, or at least the relationship.
um,
And I've never heard another man bring up menopause before. And I know it's something that is on your mind that you have thoughts about. What are people not talking about that you think they should about this?
well, I have a client. I call her country. It's L.A. Kreischer. She she's going to menopause, and we were doing everything right with the food and everything right. I'm doing my job here. Aren't getting the results we want, and so we went to hormones. We were like, and she, wife of the party podcast, she put some work in. You understand? And every week she was just coming at me with like, you need to read this book. Uh, it's educating me on men pause. And I thought, as I started to read and understand how the iron is leaving the body and the hormones are all misaligned and how that begins to really shape the behavior. And I started looking at the divorce rate during menopause and like, because men are like, you're not even the same woman. No shit, she's not the same woman. What if somebody played with your testosterone? Would you be the same man? Like, but it's never been taught to us.
Mm-hmm.
We just, she's turned into a bitch. No, bro. A whole internal makeup is reshaping itself. And she is becoming a different woman, which is why they say to you, better or worse, at the damn wedding before you get to the honeymoon. Like, there's gonna be a moment where you need to prove your worth. And when you think she likes being irritable, having heat flashes, you think, why don't you have some heat flashes? Why don't we see what that does for you in the middle of the night? And you can't sleep because you can't cool yourself down. Like, well, let's see what it does to you when your hormones are imbalanced and like you lose the desires that you used to have for things that used to make it. Let's see what you do when you're eating right and working your face off and you still swell because the cortisol is out of control. Let's see what you do when your thyroid isn't working properly. Let's just see. Like, if you like it, when the one most just place in the world is the gym, it's not even giving you what you justly deserve.
Mm.
Like, it's tough. So, like, once I started to read up on it, I was like, people need to tell men so we know what's coming. So we're much more that we can appreciate you a lot more because you're going through a lot more. We have a midlife crisis and go buy a Corvette. Your body begins to dump, pull, and release. Like, I was stunned the amount of injuries that happen to women when they're on their menstrual cycle and how you have to change the training up because the tendons just like, this is real. These are facts. And we've been living in a world that's basically only experimented with men.
We become more injury prone on the other side of
Yes,
menopause?
yes,
Oh, shit.
yes.
So
This
do
is
you?
why,
Mhm.
yes, I do. But I don't want to ask a woman in the middle of a conversation like, when you cycle, like that's so what's good about women is they're pretty consistent and then they become a little emotion, something switches And it's strong enough where the last 3 weeks, and then like 5 to 10 days after that, they're like back to this kind of thing. So once you see it, then you just put a little check mark down and be mindful for that particular individual.
So you're actually kind of tracking on some level your female clients' cycles, like you're training around that?
Uh, yes.
That's amazing. So do you believe that perimenopausal or menopausal women should be on hormone replacement therapy? Or should they just bareback it and
No, I think they should be. I tell you what, look what men are doing. Now the testosterone is down and little friendly don't be friendly no more. They running down here. You can't stop them. They got tablets. They take it. Hims, hers, she's, his, whatever they can get their hands on. They want it they want the magic pill at the 7-Eleven. They want they don't care about losing their hair. They don't care about losing their mind. Mental illness is huge. They care about they get one of them hormones drop a little bit below what they want,
Mhm.
and they're like, oh, they're getting PRT. Like you can't stop them.
Yeah.
I believe that you should fight aging. I do not believe in steroids, but hormones that you need, that you had, that you're losing under the guise of really smart people who know how to keep the right levels right. You have these hormones in your body. They, yes, I do believe it. And it took me a while to convince my wife. And yes, there are the concerns. There are concerns about eating bacon and they still find it in the refrigerator. There are concerns about eating beef. You can't even eat effing tuna without mercury poisoning. It's like there are concerns, but the greatest concern is the matriarch. Like my wife runs this. When she ain't right, it ain't.
Yeah.
I protect it and I do my part to provide. And I slip in these bubbles with my kids and I get into the business. But my wife is the super glue. And I was like, listen, let's try it. Because she wasn't even liking herself. She got a little patch. And to tell you men out there who are contemplating leaving your middle-aged wife because she's in menopause, if you get a little therapy, you get your wife back. I mean, you get your wife back for sure.
Wow.
Like she is returned and she's still her. You ain't getting no new, young, happier version. She's still her, which I can handle. I just can't handle her with less patience and feeling bad. I just watched it. I thought about it really hard. I've done a lot of research on it. Back to my girl, Aisha. And I don't know what women are waiting. I mean, I don't know what you don't have to cold turkey this thing. You don't have to bite down there.
Yeah.
You know, and because there's so little made of it, it's not talked about.
For the longest time, I think there was a study a few decades ago that said that hormones are detrimental, and so it got written off very quickly. And there's been a movement. Women, especially in the science space, as far as I understand, have been bringing this back up because it's like this is the stuff that we should know more here. We need to study this more.
Yes.
And so thank God for
Yes.
thank
Thank God
God
for
for that.
listen, if you find any movement, any,
Yeah.
it started with a woman. If you find any whistleblowing, it started with a woman. This is why God so carefully gave women the most the most necessary thing, which is to procreate, and not us, because we would be dead already. If men had to go through 9 months of body deformation, swell up like a watermelon, then push it out of our anal hole, and so you could hold it and be like, "Oh, look at the baby," we'd be done. There'd be dinosaurs back out here. Like some things he just knew, or she just knew. It's like not for the man. They won't. That pain, I just seen my wife go through it. Now I lost my mom and my dad, all my favorite dogs. Ain't nothing like labor. Nothing like child labor.
Yeah.
Nothing. So like, yeah, can't really tell me nothing about no women. I have a fondness. I have a fondness for that journey and a respect for that journey. And when I challenge a woman in this space, they never let me down. When I challenge these so-called men in this space, 1 out of every 3, they're not built for it. Yeah, Harriet Tubman dug the tunnel because all them dudes is out there picking that cotton. Yeah, they ain't doing that. Yeah. I think even the ones that we give men credit for, we should dig deeper. I just almost bet there's a female that no one talked about.
Do you think that strength of spirit or strength of character is to compensate for the lack of physical strength when comparing the genders?
I think there's only one form of strength, and you won't know you're strong until you're tested. You don't get to walk around and call yourself strong because you bench press 350 pounds. That's not strength. That's physical strength. If you can't use that power, what good is you? That's not strength. Strength is pushing a baby out of your damn body, out of a hole that starts off this big. Yeah.
Yeah.
Strength is when a physically imposing force steps into your space and physically dominates. Physically, you can't win, but you still figure out how to bring him to his knees. Like, strength is not, it can come in many examples, but it is not refined to physical.
So strength is doing what needs to be done.
Yes, who's doing that? Who's doing that better than women? When these men lead these families, these women don't.
Yeah.
I heard a quote once. It said, a good man will sacrifice his happiness for his family. And a woman will sacrifice the family for her own happiness. And I thought to myself, as a man raised by my mom, because my dad was busy, what kind of women are you dealing with? Those women have been broke because in the Black culture, if it wasn't for the woman, there would be none. There would be no families. Because as an African American male myself, I know we have not done our job as men. But these women, my mother included, my grandmother, my auntie, unbreakable. Hard times, give it to them.
Yeah.
No food on the table, give it to them. Birth another baby, another mouth to feed, no money, give it to them. No job, give it to them. Sexual assault, take that. Assaulted everywhere you go, take that. Physically inferior, what else? And they just stand there, resilient, My mother, my dad couldn't put his hands on her. She was just not having it. Not that he didn't want to. She was just not having it. I watched my mom do just amazing things to even the deck, and I was like, "You a bad mother. You bad. You cold with it." I mean, one time he came home, he was drunk, and he saw her as the target, and my mom, she stands by a lamp, it's the only light in the living room at the time, and he went to charge her,
Oh my God.
and she just click, the light goes off, and I hear boom, bang, bang, and then I have my dad scream, "Go to the ambulance!" My mother, knowing he didn't have any balance and was drunk, and knowing the layout, turned the lights out. He stumbled into something. By the time the lights came back on, the lamp was upside his head. He was bleeding, and she was standing over the top of it. I was like 6'4", 230, and she like 5'2", 140. And down goes Frazier. And I was like, yeah, you picked the right woman, bro, because she not having none of this shit. None. And she was like that all my whole life. So like, I've seen strength.
That's really
I've
cool.
seen it. And I think that is not, the gym is a wonderful place to test your strength because everyone has a line. The gym can take you to it. Now we get to see, are you him or are you not him?
Last question, because I know you have to bounce. What do you think is holding people back from being their best self?
Fear
Fear of what?
of what they really want and what it costs to go get it. This is why envy and jealousy and all those other things exist, because you'd rather tell yourself the lie that that guy got lucky, his parents left him all the money, blah, 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 and skip, and yeah, so that you don't have to own that you haven't done anything with what you're doing. And so the fear of like what that would cost you, whether you'll measure up and what happens if you do and you don't and it doesn't and all the things you've already accepted. I'll leave you with something, a good thing about my daddy. He told me once, told me a lot of really good things. He told me once I was going to ask this girl out to prom. And I was like, there's no way she's going to go with me. I'm dark, I'm in the South. And he said, well, one thing's for sure. If you don't ask her, it already is no.
That's the truth.
I never thought about it like that. And so, like, if people would just say to themselves this, you not doing it, it's like you doing it and it not being for you. Like, so why wouldn't you at least try? You just might get the yes. I went right to the school, asked the girl.
She said yes?
She said yes. And I was like, damn. In my mind, I had built this whole reason why she would never say this. I hadn't even asked her. I just can't get healthy. That's why you can't get healthy. I just can't seem to get out of this rut. You love the rut because to get out of the rut means you got to get off your butt. Like you can do anything you want. You can sell yourself on the story that it keeps happening to me, or choose differently. You can wait. Like that old saying goes, there are two salesmen. It's raining. One says, oh man, I ain't gonna sell nothing because it's a rainstorm. The other one says, hell, raining keeps everybody home. I'm gonna sell everything. Which one are you? And that's in every single situation. It's like, stop telling yourself no, or they're gonna say no, and stop listening to your hating ass friends tell you no one's ever done that. You can't just do that. Well, the way it works is none of that is true. One of my mentors gave this to me, and I thought it was brilliant. He said, "You ever been in history class and been like, I don't really understand that?" And I said, "Yeah, all the time." He said, "You know why?" I said, "Why?" Because that's his story. It got nothing to do with you. So when your friends try to tell you their story, that's just his story, not your story. You do your thing. So when people try to tell me shit like, well, you got to be on the A list if you got a green light, I'd be like, yo, that sounds cool. That's your story, but that's not mine. Don't make that my history. That's your history. I'm gonna see what my story is, because my story may be, oh, there was that one person in the room, and she saw something, and she was like, I don't know. And guess who she is? The one with all the juice. Kim. Somebody is going to be in one of these rooms and say, you, I got one even better for you. Why can't that someone be you? In your own fucking, looking in the mirror at yourself, and you choose you. And then go do what God put you on this earth to do. Stop waiting for people to make it easy for you. There is no easy. It's just as hard to be fat as it is to be fit. It's just as hard to be dumb as it is to be. It's just, how hard it is to be poor? People talk about how hard it is to be rich. It's hard to be poor. It's hard. If you've never been poor, that's a hard life.
Yeah.
So choose your heart. It's hard to eat, right? Like it is to eat the hard job. Like, both these things are hard. You've just sold yourself on one of them. And if I could say one thing to everybody out there, I love this. Start now.
Yeah.
Or nothing. Because all you really have is now. You can't do nothing about that. You can't do nothing about what's coming. What you can do something about is like right now. So if you just, and it's this easy, just decide every time you want to be upset about something, look around the corner and think about what you might ought to be grateful for. You complain about your feet. Well, some people ain't walking. You complain about your food. Well, some people have no food. You complain about that car of yours. Some people have to walk to. Like there is another side to it. Go. Like, stop talking. Too much talking, especially to yourself. Go. Watch what happens. You're going to be like, man, I thought that shit was much harder.
Yeah.
That's what I did with school. It's like, everybody kept telling me how hard it was. And I was like, school not hard. What's going to be hard is your life when you don't do well in it. Like, but school's not hard. It's structured. As my dad said, look to the back of the book. I went to the back of my calculator's book. He said, see all them names? I said, yeah, it's like 400 names. They don't have none you don't have. Now go to the front of the book. I went to the front. He said, start there. I said, Dad, we're in the middle of the semester. Start there. You missed something. If anything, you sit at that table long enough, it starts to all make sense. But I was trying to tell him how hard it was. This is hard. I need a tutor. He's like, I ain't have no money. So we're going to do this different. You're going to go back to the beginning. That's what I didn't want. I want to start right here and get it like everybody else. No, you go back to the beginning. So I have a problem. In my gym, you don't do something correct, we go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
Ask anyone who come through here. We go back to zero. I love it. I love it. It's the best thing ever. None of them count. Okay. Nothing. Zero. Yeah. And when you realize there's a consequence, all of a sudden you focus.
Yeah.
There's a world out there for you to go get into. A world. What did Viola Davis say? Hell is you laying in your deathbed looking at the person you could have became and knowing you let yourself down. Oh, don't do it. There's a world out there. It's been waiting on you. You're sitting in this low frequency, complaining because you see all these people in this other frequency that God is giving you vision that you can get to. Just switch that shit today and watch what happens. Is it hard? It's all hard, man. I love about Jim. It's like, you can run from the hard and to some more hard shit. It's all hard. Once you got that in your mind, now we can work. So like, go as my license plate on my 74 911 S says, go get it. They ain't got no
That's right.
excuses in the back of that motherfucker. It just got go get it. That's the answer. What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
Go
Go get
get
it.
it. Yes.
Mykel, you're the best. Thank you so much for giving me an hour of your time. I appreciate you. I love you. And I feel so blessed to be able to work with you and hopefully uh, play with you on screen and in our stories. I can't wait.
Well, that's happening. And when Kate called me and told me, of all the people, Kate never speaks about work with me unless she's asking me about a problem. But there was one client she told me, one person. This is how God works. See, this is why you should all have some enthusiasm because I did not know you. I had never even met you. Kate spoke of one client years ago. And then I don't know how many years later, that person calls Kate. Kate texts me. I say, of course, and I never do. And then I meet you. It's like, sometimes you know immediately something's going to happen with someone. It's going to impact the universe. Remember, I said it right here. Our work's just getting started.
Yep.
What we're going to do is impact the universe.
Kate, I love you too.
Baby girl.
All right. Thanks,
My pleasure.
Mykel.
Yeah. Let's do it again, Mom.
I hope so. Talk soon.
See you in the pit.
Bye.
Ciao.
If you enjoyed this conversation, please follow us on YouTube and hit the bell so you never miss an episode. And if you've been listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts, we'd love it if you'd follow the show. iHuman is brought to you by Grip, the world's first slow-release protein bar. Learn more at gripbar.com. Thanks for listening.